I thought grief had finally loosened its grip on me. 3 years. 3 winters without her. 3 years of pretending the empty side of the bed didn't ache. And then, 3 a.m. My phone vibrated on the nightstand, slicing through the dark like a scalpel. Unknown number. No one calls at 3 a.m. with good news. I stared at the screen, thumb hovering. I answered. A soft breath. A voice. Her voice. "Sweetie, open the door. It's cold out here." My pulse froze mid-beat. The room felt smaller, air thinner. She was dead. Buried in Maple Hill Cemetery. I had watched the dirt cover her coffin myself. My legs moved before reason caught up. Hallway. Door. Peephole. My breath locked in my chest. She stood there. Same brown coat. Same hair curling at the ends from the cold night air. The woman I used to sleep beside. The woman I used to trust. My dead wife. I didn't open it. Couldn't. My hand trembled around the doorknob. Then she whispered something only we knew. A secret joke. Our first fight, years ago. "If you want to join Thanksgiving, come wash the dishes." I staggered back. Memory stabbed through me like broken glass. That was ours, private. No one else knew. The knock stopped. Silence expanded like a void. I should have called someone. I should have prayed. I just stood there, frozen, heart tearing between love, fear, and something uglier. Doubt. Had she ever really left me? Or had something been buried long before her body? I didn't sleep the rest of the night. Just me. An untouched door. And her voice echoing like a ghost I never escaped. Morning light never felt so cruel. Coffee tasted metallic. My hands wouldn't stop shaking. To ground myself, I called my son, expecting comfort, maybe logic. Instead, his wife answered. Sharp tone. Always too entitled for someone who married into poverty, then climbed out through my wallet. "If you want to join Thanksgiving, come wash the dishes," she mocked when I asked about plans. The same line, spoken with casual disrespect. My gut twisted. Coincidence? No. Life doesn't play that fair. She knew. Somehow, she knew. And if she knew, she heard it from someone, a living someone. My wife wasn't a ghost, not in the supernatural sense. She was alive somewhere. Hidden, protected, or pretending to be dead. Why? Insurance? Freedom? Betrayal? The questions tasted like rust in my mouth. I spent years grieving a woman who maybe never deserved my grief. I told my daughter-in-law I wasn't coming. One word, enjoy. She hung up, satisfied, thinking she'd won some small domestic power play. Hours later she called again. This time after accidentally seeing photos of my new villa in Switzerland, a property she didn't know existed. She called 71 times. I didn't answer a single ring. I began pulling threads, quietly, meticulously. First, her death certificate. Something felt too convenient. Rushed signatures, a missing hospital record, a doctor who retired weeks after her death. Money trails don't lie. People do. I reviewed her old bank statements, transfers to a private account I didn't know existed, withdrawals, regular ones, even after the date she supposedly died. Each discovery felt like a bruise on my ribs, dull, deep, personal. I hired no detectives, trusted no one. Pain had taught me that help becomes leverage for betrayal. Late nights blurred into early mornings as I dug through our past like a crime scene. Her best friend suddenly moved out of state after the funeral. Her sister became evasive whenever I called. My daughter-in-law flinched when I mentioned her name at dinner once. Patterns emerged. And in the center of it, my wife. Alive or dead, she was still controlling the room. Weeks passed. I tracked the private account's activity. Hotel payments, one-way tickets, small online purchases. Zurich, Switzerland, the same city where I purchased my villa last year. Coincidence again? No. Fate mocking me, maybe. My heart throbbed with cold fury. Not rage. Rage is loud. This was quieter, more surgical. One flight later, I stood at the gates of my villa overlooking the white-tipped Alps. Beautiful, peaceful, but peace is a luxury guilt doesn't allow. I waited, watched, calculated. 2 days in, she appeared. Not as a ghost, not shivering at my door. Alive, healthy, smiling with a man at her side. Someone younger, richer looking, confident in the way thieves are before they're caught. They walked like they owned my villa, like they owned my past. Maybe they did. Not anymore. I let them settle in, let comfort soften their guard. On the 4th evening, I invited them to dinner. No threats, no anger, just a table, 3 plates, 2 glasses of wine for them, water for me. She saw me, her face drained of color, then filled with panic, then something worse, recognition. I slid a file onto the table, bank statements, travel receipts, insurance payout records, a death certificate signed by a doctor who never saw her body. Her hand trembled. Not once did I raise my voice. I simply asked, "Why?" She broke, not dramatically, just crumbled. Years of marriage reduced to excuses. She felt trapped, wanted freedom, wanted wealth, wanted more than me. So she faked her death, took the insurance money, and left with her lover. My grief was her escape plan. I listened, every word carving a new cavity in my chest. When she finished, silence held us like a blade. I didn't yell, didn't threaten. I only smiled, small, calculated. Then I handed her lover a separate file. Property ownership, villa transfer documents, everything showing I was the sole owner, and that she had used forged signatures to access my property. I told him she lied to him too, that this villa wasn't a joint purchase, nor hers to gift. His face darkened. Trust collapsed. He looked at her like she was a corpse for the first time. Poetic. I stood, placed my house keys on the table, then pocketed them back. "Get out," I whispered. No shouting, no rage, just calm, final rejection. They left into the cold Swiss night. No coats, no plan, no money. 2 thieves stripped of comfort. I watched them fade into the snow, their footsteps disappearing the way she tried to make me disappear. Silence returned to the villa. Peace, not warm, but sharp, clean. Loss didn't vanish, it transformed. From grief to clarity. I poured myself a drink, looked at the empty chair she once would have filled. No nostalgia, no ache, just acceptance. I didn't call my son, didn't explain. Some truths are meant to be discovered in whispers, not announcements. Life doesn't give closure, we take it. As I locked the door and turned away, I thought of that 3 a.m. night. Her voice at the threshold. "Sweetie, open the door." I finally did, but only to let her out. And when I closed it again, I made sure it stayed closed forever.